Yeah, I think the turnovers really helped them. We had a difficult time executing. I thought they amped up the level of physicality, and I think we kind of played on our heels a bit, but that caused some turnovers, and that gave them opportunity to get out and run, which, you know, you can't give anything easy to this team. They're going to make shots as it is. To allow the easy points really puts you at a deficit.
Maybe the second chance points don't show it, but it seemed like they had their way at times on their offensive board. What did you see with your team's defensive rebounding when you needed it most?
Well, it wasn't as good as it should be. I mean, honestly, those three areas, the transition, obviously our turnovers facilitated some of that, and then the second chance points. You know, they're a volume three-point shooting team, so a lot of long shots, long rebounds, a handful of 50-50 balls that we just don't come up with. You wind up paying the price for it.
Wes, it seems like it was a tale of two halves. You guys controlled the first half for the majority of it. Then they pretty much kind of had their way in the second half. Where do you think the momentum turning point was that allowed the Warriors to come back and really take over the game in that second half?
Well, I thought in the second quarter really is where they kind of created some separation. It was a 42-point quarter. You know, they got rolling offensively. We turned the ball over a handful of times, and I thought that gave them life. And, you know, it's a very difficult thing once that team sees the ball go in. You know, obviously 20 for 40 from the three-point line is a heck of a night, you know, but when 10 of those are coming from the bench, you know, it's somewhat unanticipated. So I think everyone had a hand in it. You know, Jordan's going to shoot his, Clay's going to shoot his. But, you know, now 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 makes a couple, Draymond makes a couple. 𝗎𝗪𝗪𝗏 Green makes a couple. And it really just kind of snowballs.
You know, Porzingis and Beal, you know, they had, I think, 34 and 35 respectively. Where does the secondary scoring have to come from in order for you guys to make that hump, jump over the hump, should I say?
Well, it's not going to be one person. I think, you know, everyone's got to contribute. We got to find ways to generate easier offense, and obviously to do that, get stops and run. We didn't get enough stops tonight, obviously, but you know, when we're able to defend and get stops, get rebounds, we're usually pretty good.
Wes, what did you see with your team's defense on Thompson in that first half?
There were some good moments, but then, you know, there's some moments where we lost him in transition. You know, he's going to create a lot of separation, and I think just having the discipline to, you know, minimize all the separation, to kind of be a step ahead of the play. He's at his probably most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball, where he's just kind of moving, cutting, and they do a terrific job of screening for him. So some of that's technique, but he was able to create some separation, and that's where he kind of got loose.
Wes, Brad passed the 15,000 career point threshold tonight. What can you say about him as a scorer and kind of his evolution since he's been with this team?
Well, you know, it's obviously, you know, my short tenure with him, but there seems to be growth in his evolution as a player. When you watch a guy from afar, you kind of, fair or unfair, you look at him in a certain light, and you look at him as just a scorer. You know, he's an all-around player. And I've seen more and more of that from him, his ability to play make for himself, for others. But even on the defensive end, he's had some really good defensive performances, you know, even over the last handful of games. So it's remarkable when you think about, you know, eclipsing that, you know, that threshold and being the point leader. But the fact that he's, you know, doing so much for us on both ends, it's really impressive.
I wanted to ask you about Kendrick, too. You talked about generating easier offense. You've said that he's kind of a guy who is really good at naturally just putting the ball in the bucket. Given that you do have a lot of scorers, how can he kind of carve out a niche, or how can you guys find a kind of role where he can be a part of that easier offense?
Well, I think it's not just on him. You know, I think at times the other four guys have to find space to give him room to play. You know, he's still working through some of the offense, knowing how to what we're running and where to be on the floor. I think he has that spurt ability to, you know, kind of get hot and get going, and you can kind of play through him. But even in the situations where he's playing in pick and roll, he's going to garner enough attention that's going to open up opportunities for other people. So it's not one thing that we're saying this guy has to has to score, and that's all he can do. But I think his ability to score is going to put pressure on the defense and open things up for the other 4 guys.
I think sometimes I do feel like it's, we still are able to score, but a lot of it's like hard work. We maybe need to find some easier actions, some more movement, and when I catch that during the game, I usually, that's what I try to do. I try to, make it easier for myself, for Brad, just go into like a slip with Brad or fake handoffs and things like that, just to open up some opportunities for each other. But yeah, no, I think the rest of the guys, it's hard to play, when you get limited minutes, limited shots, limited opportunities, to be effective every night, and I think our guys are doing a great job whenever they get the opportunities, whenever they get the shots, and tonight it was mostly the second unit that kind of got us back in the game. So we did make that run towards the end, but fell short, and yeah, we can be better for sure, and that's it. We look forward to the next one.
Your team hit 60% of its shots and 40% of its threes. How did, under those circumstances, usually a team would win? How did this go the other way?
I think it's just the way they were playing, and we were effective, but they were even more effective than us. And some of it is maybe our defense, but some of it is just them, the way they're able to score the ball, the way they get the crowd into it, the energy they play with, some smart plays coming out of timeouts from them, and all those things adding up. They did pick us apart in some moments, and they had a couple guys have, like, I don't know, probably one of the best games of the season. So it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop, some guys 5 for 4 for 4 that usually don't do that. So again, some of it is on us. We have to control what we can control. Some of it is on us, and a bit more, 5% more aggressive, more into them, and a couple of those shots don't go in, and that makes a difference.
What have you seen from Kendrick so far? He had his highest scoring game with you guys tonight.
Yeah, I think he's playing aggressive. He's getting in the paint, which is important for us. I think he's experienced. He's been around a little bit in the league, and he has some experience, and he helps us. He's physical, plays hard, and yeah, I'm happy about him, and joining us and giving us a spark. And yeah, I think he's only this guy. He was out for a year, and I know how it is. And he's working his way back, and I think the trades that Tommy has done, those are great trades, because everybody, even Kenan, he's kind of, at this point, when he got traded here, his value was a little bit lower than it usually would be, and I'm telling you, this guy's gonna only get better with each game, get in the rhythm, get accustomed to everything here, and I think the best from him is yet to come.
Wes mentioned, there were some turnovers that he didn't like, that you guys did, especially in that second quarter, allowed them to kind of change the momentum in the game. Is that something that they did more, or is that you guys just not taking care of the ball they should have?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think we expected them to make a run because they're playing at home. The crowd got into it. They made some shots. I think we stayed poised. We stayed pretty poised. Brad is great for us. He kind of always calms everybody down. They just had that huge run, and then another one in the second half, and that's a team that can get going like that. One of the best shooting teams in the league, and yes, and as I said, they had, one or two guys have season games, one of the best games in the season for them, and that was a little bit of the X factor tonight. I felt like. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a freak play. I ran into Jordan Poole in the first quarter.
Head to head.
I don't remember.
When was the turning point in this, when you guys obviously came out with a really, really strong start?
Towards the end of the second, and I would say end of the third, they went on a big run to kind of close the half, and then they came out, kind of increased it a little bit in the third.
Your team shot close to lights out, both from 3 and from the field. How frustrating is it to not be able to
Yeah, we just didn't guard. That's why we lost. You know, shot 60%, 70% from the field, 44 from three. Plenty, 56 points in the paint, plenty of points off turnovers. You know, so it's just defense, wasn't offense.
And you guys are fighting to stay in the top 10. How bad does this one hurt knowing you guys had control of this game in the first half, and then it kind of got away from you guys?
It hurts for the exact reasons you just said. My bad, Jim.
And is there any way that, you and Porzingis were kind of carrying the team that second half, so they were getting more secondary scoring from your bench or the rest of the players?
I mean, we got a guard. Scoring wasn't a problem. We just said we shot over 70% from the field. KP was very efficient tonight. I think I shot over 50% tonight, so it wasn't offense. It was a matter of us getting stops. I mean, obviously in the second half we can be better at getting stops, and that helps our offense be better because when they get their defense out, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So we just had to be better on that defensive end. We weren't.
Are you in any kind of pain?
Nope.
Brad, when do you feel like it'll sink in that you're one of 2 players in this franchise's history who've reached the 15,000 point mark?
I don't know. Honestly, it's a blessing to be in that to reach that accomplishment. But definitely wish we'd have won. But even more than that, I still got more basketball to play. So it's definitely cool to check it off. But I'm still going.
Do you get anything for that? Do you get the game ball or anything? Like?
I don't know. We lost, so I couldn't tell you.